By the editor-in-chief and co-founder of the Hong Kong Free Press, Tom Grundy. Many thanks for joining the programme. I believe you had a reporter in court. Talk us through what happened in court today.
Hi, Marlene. Well, yes, it was a short session today, about 100 people queuing up outside. People in the public gallery waving and shouting happy birthday to Jimmy Lai, who turned 74 this week, already behind bars awaiting a security law trial. Outside court, there was a lone protester known as Grandma Wong shouting pro-democracy slogans and calling for the release of political prisoners, and also lots of course, plainclothes police and uniformed police, as well as pro-Beijing protesters calling for a heavy sentencing. As we know, last year's commemorative vigil was banned on COVID grounds. Usually you would see a sea of people, tens of thousands, holding candles quietly in the city's largest park. But today, these three pro-democracy figures, the only ones who have pled guilty, were charged with, convicted of unauthorized assembly.
Did you expect this verdict?
Well, yes, this has been the trend over the last year. The judge, Amanda Woodcock, ruled that Jimmy Lai didn't have to say anything to even incite others. The very fact that he turned up just outside the park was, quote, a deliberate act to rally support for and publicly spotlight the unauthorized assembly. Of course, hundreds, perhaps thousands, did show up that day, nevertheless. And one of the other activists in court today, Chow Hang Tung, who's behind the alliance, the now defunct alliance that organized this, she was handing out candles, Woodcock noted, and she said that the barrister's Facebook post leading up to the vigil clearly makes reference to those that will definitely join her in Victoria Park that night, and she doesn't specifically appeal or invite people to join her, but she signs off with "see you tonight." So that was enough implication, it seems, for the judge to convict them today.
Jimmy Lai, as you say, he's already been in jail for about a year or so. He just turned 74. For other protest-led charges, he's been in jail. So what could this now mean for his sentence?
Well, it could mean that he's not going to see the light of day, and that the number of other charges he's facing, he could face life in prison. With the other security law charges, as you say, it's going to be possibly over a year in prison for him. It's going to be in the new year when he is next in court, along with other Apple Daily executives. He's charged with allegedly colluding with a foreign country to endanger national security, among other charges. Ultimately, under this new security law, he could even face trial in the mainland, but we'll see.
Jimmy Lai, probably one of the most high-profile cases in Hong Kong to fall foul of this new security law legislation. But he's not the only one, is he? What impact has this case and the new law had on Hong Kong's pro-democracy movement in general?
Well, this case itself is part, I would say, of perhaps a wider crackdown on the memory of the 1989 massacre. Textbooks have been censored, museum exhibits confiscated. The vigil's organisers have been put behind bars, and as you can see, this commemoration has been banned, let alone a monument to the Tiananmen Massacre is under threat, which stands on the University of Hong Kong's campus. But it's been about a year and a half now of Hong Kong under the national security law. Over 120-odd activists have been jailed. Only two have been put behind bars. Only two have actually been convicted so far, but many more set to go to court.
OK, many thanks for your time. Tom Grundy, co-founder of the Hong Kong Free Press. Now, England is returning to tighter coronavirus restrictions as the Omicron variant casts a shadow over the coming Christmas period. The Prime Minister says face coverings must be worn inside public venues.